Hi friends, and welcome back to playing tribute to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2, Resolve, where we are in the middle of the case of the Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro, which is apparently a secret case that we're not supposed to talk about, according to Mr. Sholmes. But we are we're reading the notes that Susato kept, and I guess Iris as well, to see what it is that happened during this case that was so mysterious, important, what it was that made Professor Mikotoba bring Susato back home to Japan because something scared him. So we're just gonna find out what's going on as we jump right into it. Let's do it. I almost pressed the A button again, but that was the save button. Because I am picking up from where we left off last time. After a short break. The Old Bailey. This place always makes me feel strange. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in nervous sweat all at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon. That's my line! Good morning! Good morning, Mr. Natsume. It was only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here. Yes, we somehow managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back. But now this! Another morning, another murder, and here I am again. Can't keep coming to court! I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. Naruto, I'm afraid I have bad news. Oh. Why do I have a feeling that her bad news is about the Reaper of the Bailey being the prosecutor? Mr. Natsume, good morning. Yes, morning. So, here we are again. Yes, again. You seem so happy about it. Are you giggling over there? Judicial Assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquire, what's the bad news? Oh dear, you heard, didn't you? If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say! Yeah, it wasn't really secret. Oh, I am sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Miss Susato. Now, what is it? Well, it seems that the prosecution in today's trial... Yep. Will be led by Lord Barrack Van Zeeks. Van Zeeks. Ah! Oh no, no, no. I believe he has it out for us. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. I love how the memory pictures, by the way, memory screenshots are like this like sepia kind of fuzzy picture and not just like a cutscene. Or not a cutscene, but like a flashback. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Seki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through. But still. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal... Wow. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter. After all, yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zeeks is the prosecutor. Oh no! But even if the person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or the other. And we've experienced it firsthand. Yep, we all remember that incident. The man we successfully defended met the most terrifying end after his acquittal right here in the Old Bailey. Yeah, do I have to put up with those ice-cold eyes boring into my soul again? Cursed by evil spirits and now by the Reaper. Pair of petrifying perils, potentially. Well, if it's potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume. Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Yes? I'm innocent. You have to believe me. You more than anyone now. Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. And this promises to be a hard battle, I fear. Well, the trial is scheduled to begin shortly. We should move to the courtroom. Let's go. Oh, yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean. That's probably for the best. Oh, he actually said that. That's probably for the best. Oh. If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. That wasn't why I was saying it. I was saying it was probably for the best because, he's like arch rivals or whatever with Mr. Natsume. Mr. Natsume doesn't like Sholmes very much, so it's probably for the best. And that could be seen as weakness. If Lord Van Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on him mercilessly. At least that's my gut feeling. Mr. Naruhodo. You're right! Yes, you're so right. Oh, well said, Locum Student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire, well said. I swear on the sword at my side and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free, with honor. Oh, yes! Okay, then. It's only my third trial at this point, right? Or fourth, because, you know, counting, the one that you defended we defended ourselves, but third trial in the Old Bailey. Hello, vampire pose. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Oh, I was gonna say, the prosecution never talks at this beginning part, because he's all mysterious and creepy. The prosecution is ready. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, no, his voice reminded me, whenever I was doing his voice, it reminded me of, like, Professor Snape. That was the voice that I gave this guy, just, like, cold, deep British. The defense is ready, my lord. Readiness for the trial, my learned Nepalese friend does not what the defense needs. And what, pray tell, does it need? What you need is readiness for your inevitable defeat. It's not just in my imagination, it's really there. Lord Van Zieks has such an animosity towards his Japanese for some reason. Oh yeah, I think we heard a little bit about this. Was it after the fourth case of the game? Or was it after the last case of the game? I don't remember. It was some time ago now that he first became known as the Reaper of the Bailey, I believe. 4 years ago, right? These past few years, he hasn't appeared in court at all. And now he's back in the courtroom, but for some reason... Only when I'm defending. Only when I'm defending, yeah. This Reaper, with his curious disdain for his Japanese, is a prosecutor shrouded in mystery. Still, this isn't the time to be pondering that. I have to concentrate on Saseki-san's trial. Furthermore, I now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The music is going to cut real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry about the skip. I also realized that the flames will also be skipped, probably. I was a little bit distracted. But I should be able to go right to it, then. You have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to fulfill your duty? It's him again. Absolutely. I had a feeling this larrikin wasn't innocent before. Okay, hold on a second. Are they the same same ones that were in his last trial? Because I feel like that would be a conflict of interest as well. I must say that I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat refuses to sit right. Oh, well, I rather like how you're wearing your hat. I think the ruthless look is very fetching, actually. Oh, she's new. I need to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. I have a very important meeting. Let's make this quick. I don't think you're gonna make it. I couldn't agree more. Take home 5 bob tonight. The missus will go through the roof. He had an accent, but I don't remember what his accent was whenever he said, like, giddy tea. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict. Was he a minister? The British jury system is so very different to our own, isn't it? It's quite extraordinary to think that the power of judgment is in the hands of 6 members of the public, and that the judge can only pass sentence when all jurors are in agreement about the defendant's guilt. 6 citizens of London chosen at random. Or at least that's the idea. The prosecution would to draw attention to the fact that the accused was on trial here 2 days ago. Accordingly, where possible, the same jurors have been asked to return for duty today. Oh, it was? Okay. It is the same. I feel like that's... I don't know. Very well, let us commence the trial. Lord Van Zeeks, your opening statement, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not the intent of the prosecution to cast doubt over your past decision. However, the innocent verdict afforded to these eccentric companies before has had dire consequences. Did the accused repent of his wrongdoing and far from it? He didn't do anything! Oh, he ran. He ran. That's right. He ran away whenever the girl was stabbed. He was scared and ran. Instead, he used his freedom to perpetrate, my gosh, a most blood-curdling crime. Namely, that of the attempted murder of his neighboring lodger and innocent Englishman. To explain the circumstances of the crime, the prosecution calls its first witness to the stand. Oh, yeah, he's ready for business already. The detective responsible for investigating the crime, the scene, and the accused himself. Witnesses, your names and occupations, please. Sir, Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector, Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Saseki Natsume from the Empire of Japan. My government ordered me to come here as a student to study your language and culture. Mr. Natsume. Yes, my lord. Sir. I'm quite sure I'm not mistaken. And that you swore an oath never to set foot in my courtroom again. I remember it as if it were yesterday. It was yesterday. The day before, in fact, my lord. But close enough. Believe me, this is the last place I want to be. Inspector, let's hear from you first. Explain the case for the court. Right you are, sir. The incident occurred at the Garrett household where the defendant has lodgings. What are you, Sherlock Holmes? Just with the spotlight. In the ground floor room with the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare. The defendant has already admitted to visiting the victim, night in question. Mr. Shamspeare collapsed in his room as a result of poisoning by strychnine. He was found the following morning when the landlord, suspecting something was wrong, broke down the door. This means, I presume, that the door to the victim's room was locked at the time of the incident? Correct, my lord. It was locked from the inside, making entry or exit from the room impossible. Although the victim, Mr. Shamspeare, lives to tell the tale, he very nearly didn't, and was halfway to heaven when he first found him. I was the first officer on the scene, my lord. I have a photographic print here that I took at the time to show how it looked. Okay, that about matches what we saw. Oh, what's that stain in the back? Do you see the stain next to the stove? And then there was the stain on the table. Remember the stain on the table? And I wanted to observe it, but I couldn't really that? Yes, a chilling scene indeed. That man looks very much deceased. That's right. Everyone present believed that's exactly what he was. Very well, I shall accept this photographic print as evidence for the court. Photographic print of the scene taken by police upon their arrival. The victim can be seen unconscious at the time of being poisoned. Now then, Mr. Natsume. Yes! As a defendant, do you have anything to say in this juncture? They're haunted. Haunted by evil spirits. Good gracious. What's haunted? My lodgings! There's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. The tenant before me died in mysterious circumstances. A woman was stabbed by no one on the street outside. My neighbor was poisoned. And me? What about me? I've nearly been killed countless times. Killed Mr. Natsume? How? Even on that fateful night it happened when I returned from Mr. Shamsphere's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed. Before long, the stove went out, and somebody tried to kill me. You must always extinguish all fires before retiring for the night, Mr. Natsume. But it's so cold, my runny nose would freeze. The point is, I didn't poison my neighbor. Oh, why am I being accused of this? Why is my existence so cursed? Thank you, witnesses. I believe I have a reasonably clear picture of events. If I could raise one more point, my lord. One more conclusive point. Let me see if there's anything to observe here. No, it's just the picture, which we saw. One more. Oh, if I could erase one more point, one more conclusive point. I think I read that already. Conclusive. Go on. Fortunately, the victim, Mr. Shamsphere, has regained consciousness after his ordeal. Oh, right, there's that point. And he has named the true culprits. The poison consumed by the victim was administered in a cup of tea that he drank on the night in question. Tea that was brought to the victim's room by the accused. Yep. The accused? Good gracious. Oh, yes. Let's skip that. Oh, order! 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 Arr. Yes, that's the crux of this whole case. If Saseki-san is innocent, then why has the victim accused him? Well, Mr. Natsume, what have you to say to this accusation? That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamsphere's room as a gift. The public water pump was the public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again, never. The public pump was frozen, you say? That's not information we heard before. That will do, thank you. Now, according to our laws, the defense may have the opportunity to cross-examine witnesses at least once. Therefore, I call upon these witnesses now for a formal testimony. I presume the prosecution has no objection? None whatsoever. Good. Then you will give your account of the events the night in question to the court. To the court. Yes, my lord. Whenever I hear the phrase "none whatsoever," the only thing I can think of is Emperor's New Groove. Whenever Izuma says that, "none whatsoever," with like clenched teeth. When I think it was like no hard feelings for being fired or whatever. None whatsoever. It was around 9 o'clock that evening when I visited my neighbor, and I took some tea with me as a gift. We had a heated literary debate over a nice hot drink, after which I went back to my room at around 11. My tea was completely harmless. He couldn't have locked the door behind me otherwise, could he? Strychnine takes some time to have an effect on the body. People don't keel over immediately after taking it. The victim would have been perfectly able to lock the door after his guest left. The argument still stands. Well then. Yes, see. It all seems relatively straightforward. Excuse me, but that testimony does raise one rather crucial point, I think. Mr. Natsume claimed his tea to have been harmless. Presumably, though, the teacups have been examined for traces of the poison, haven't they? Why didn't I think of that? Well, as it happens, no. I haven't been able to. Is it because I have the teacups? Did I hear you correctly, Inspector? Scotland Yard has failed to examine the suspect's substance? How could you have overlooked something so important? Isn't that the first thing you should have done? My learned Japanese friend is falsely incensed. The inspector said Scotland Yard was unable to examine the tea and that it was overlooked. Unable, why? Simple enough, there's none left. Not a drop. Someone must have been really thirsty indeed. With current scientific techniques, it is impossible to test for poison under such circumstances. We only need a drop, but that one drop does actually have to exist, funnily enough. Lack of examination notwithstanding, it appears nothing other than tea passed the victim's lips on the night in question. I see. Thank you. The matter is clear. Cast your eyes over to the jury, my learned friend. What? You can see it on their faces, I'm sure. The recognition of the accused's guilt. The client's fate is all but sealed. Mere moments from now, you will lose, and your compatriot will be condemned for all eternity. He's right, I can feel all 6 of the jurors looking daggers at me. But I can't let them beat me down. I won't. Counsel for the defense, proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Press everything. Hold it! Because it sounds like this is the only testimony I'm gonna get. Were you and your neighbor good friends then? Ah, no! We weren't friends! Not at all, not at all! Never, ever! You're so adamant about that. A simple no would have sufficed. And then, why did you decide to pay him a visit? Mr. Shamsphere fancies himself as having great literary knowledge. As a fellow scholar of English literature, we find much to talk about together. Could understand the finer points of English literature. I'll give it a rest, dude. And on the night in question, that was the topic of conversation as well, I presume? It was the day of my last trial, when I was acquitted. I just arrived back at my lodgings. When I ran into Mr. Shamsphere outside on the street, that was at around 6 o'clock. We exchanged 1 or 2 pleasantries, but it soon turned into a heated discussion. He was on his way out at the time, though. So I promised to visit his room that evening at 9 to continue our debate. But did I have ill intentions? No! Not one, not two, not any! Not at all! Never, ever! A simple no would have sufficed, I feel. Tell the court what did happen when you visited the victim's room. Hold it! A literary debate about Shakespeare's works, I think you said, didn't you? Shakespeare. Ah, very worthy topic of conversation, I must say. Oh yes, my lord. Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? It was profoundly pleasurable parley. Romeo and Juliet. Who was stronger? I know I'm going to regret asking this, but how did the debate go? Well, we both agreed that we would reach a conclusion more quickly with a reenactment. So we battled it out. In a Greco-Roman style, naturally. What? Mr. Shamsphere had all sorts of costumes in his room for just such a contest. So when you say a reenactment, you mean you were actually in costume. He is Romeo, I is Juliet, and after a vigorous tussle, I as Juliet came out on top. A victory I'll cherish forever. I dare not imagine the terrible scene of that carnage. The fact remains that it was you who had the tea and took it to the victim, correct? I I boiled the water in my room and made a pot to take with me. I heard that he was too poor to have the tea himself, you know. It's true, there was no sign of any tea leaves in the man's room. I wanted to do something nice, to be friendly. So why is everyone looking at me with such suspicion? My tea was harmless, of course it was. And do you have any basis for that statement, witness?
Hold it!
Yes, there was not a drop of tea left in the victim's room anywhere, was there? That's correct. Anyone would think the fella had never had a pot of tea before. I selected dry. Which is a pity, because one drop is all we would have needed to analyze for poison. And you say you returned home to your room at 11 o'clock, Mr. Natsume? Yes, definitely. By heaven and earth, I swear it! The landlord was able to verify that, as it happens. He confirmed that the defendant went back to his room at 11 that night. And how was the landlord able to attest to this? He, said it was the lamps, I believe. The lamps, Inspector. When tenants return to their rooms and start using gas, the lamps in other parts of the house flicker. Yes, Mr. Gyarados seems to pay a lot of attention to the comings and goings of his tenants. There's only one key to Mr. Shamsir's room. I know that for certain. So he must have locked the door himself from inside his room. The victim has confirmed that to be the case, yes. So I'm right, my tea was harmless, completely harmless. If you take poison, you die. Everyone knows that. That's not that simple, I'm afraid. What do you mean?
Hold it!
How long does it take for symptoms to appear, then? According to the coroner, I was speaking to at the yard about 30 minutes after the poison's consumed. And the victim suffers violent convulsions, cramping, and stiffness, and eventually dies from asphyxiation. It's always asphyxiation. So there's a 30-minute interval between when the poison is ingested and the onset of symptoms. There seems to be a lot of different types of poison in the world, that's for sure. Oh dear, death by poisoning again. It's always so awful. 13 minutes is a long time. It's actually long enough for the victim to have locked the door behind the accused after he left. Can't deny that. And further degrades the second son's alibi. I have the medical report here from the doctor who examined the victim. It spells out, really, the accused is the only person who could have done it. Very well, the court will add this report to the court records evidence. Report issued by Scotland Yard's medical officer obviously mentions the poison as well as other details gleaned during the police investigation. Oh yes, I see it here. Delayed onset of symptoms. Let's see what else it says. Not leaving it to Justice Sato to read. Ingestion of a small quantity of strychnine. Toxic effects present 30 minutes after ingestion. High likelihood of the substance having been mixed with the tea the victim was drinking, but no sample could be obtained for testing. The poisoning incident occurred at 1:30 a.m. on the 21st of February, assessed from the victim's pocket watch that appears to have broken when the man collapsed after delayed onset of symptoms. No container for the poison was found at the scene. Didn't you say he left at like 11? Great. Yeah, I don't buy it. Whoops, wrong one. When I press B, it goes backwards.
Hold it!
Still pressing everything, just to make sure I get all the information. The argument still stands, you say? That's what Mr. Natsume has been saying, isn't it? Pair of them drank tea together that night, so if there was poison in it. The victim wouldn't have been able to lock the door after the accused left later on. Exactly! Me and my tea are innocent. Sweet and innocent, I tell you. I'm afraid, sir, that doesn't follow. You see, strychnine is a slow-acting poison. In other words, it takes time for symptoms to appear. So, you could have left the room of 30 minutes after the victim drank the tea. Once he did that, Mr. Shakespeare could have locked the door after he'd gone. But no! We drank tea straight away. The battle over whether Romeo and Juliet was stronger, that came after the tea. Do you have any evidence to support that statement? In my great homeland, the Empire of Japan, we have a saying, drink tea while it's hot. Sure, a proverb will satisfy the prosecution. I'm afraid there's no conclusive proof to support the defendant's assertion. On the contrary, there are sufficient grounds to infer his guilt in this matter. No. It takes another testimony, is it? If I could voice a personal opinion, Mr. Naruhodo. Of course, go ahead. Mr. Natsume is arguing for his innocence so adamantly and so persistently. Yet Inspector Gregson just brushes what he says aside. It's really quite infuriating. I agree. So we need to find an inconsistency in what the inspector is saying. I'm afraid so. As things stand, the jurors are sure to find Mr. Natsume guilty. As I see it, what we need to focus on is the poison and the tea. Listen carefully to the testimony again. Poison and the tea. So not when he went home? Because if he went home around 11... Also, there is the problem that I've been thinking of, the fact that Natsume also drank the tea. Present 30 minutes after ingestion, high likelihood of substance. If it happened at 1:30, and you left at 11, that was 2.5 hours. I'm gonna try it.
Objection!
Oh, good. Mr. Natsume, you say it was 11 p.m. when you left to return to your room, correct? Yes! Okay, that's interesting. The little afterthoughts were starting to lead me astray there. Because I'm like, oh wait, you're not supposed to focus on the timing? Though I guess that's kind of has to do with the poison. Inspector Gregson, can we rely on the information in the medical report unconditionally? Of course we can. There's no problem with that report, Sunshine. Actually, I think there's a very big problem. Because there's a chronological inconsistency between it and the defendant's testimony. A chrono what? What are you on about? According to this report, the victim must have consumed the poison at around 1:30 in the morning. And yet, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, left the victim's room at 11. Ah! Yes, that's right. There's more than 2 hours of missing time there. In other words, if there was poison in that tea that Mr. Natsume brought to the victim's room, how could the victim have fallen ill to it 2.5 full hours after the defendant left? I knew their surprise animations looked similar. I was thinking about that whenever he was in the cell and he was doing wah! I was like, man, that really looks like the inspector's surprise. The defense's argument is entirely reasonable. How'd you respond to this? Oh, lovely. Please, pour yourself a drink. In the hallowed chalice or whatever. You can drink it or you can throw it into the candle. Pray forgive the discourtesy if my mind has wandered. I was considering what cuisine would best complement the contents of my hallowed chalice this luncheon. How could it have happened, you ask? Oh, he crushed it. Okay. I do hate to shatter illusions, but my Japanese friend appears to be chasing a phantom idea. A phantom? Is it so hard to imagine the victim drank his tea after the accused had left? For example, at the time stated in the report. Yes, at around 1:30.
Objection!
Mr. Natsume brought the tea with him to drink together with his neighbor. And in Japan, there's a well-known saying, drink tea while it's hot.
Objection!
And in my country, there's an even more apt saying. There's nothing more refreshing than cold tea. The point is, if there was such a long gap, there may be other ways to explain how the victim came to be poisoned, other possibilities. What sort of possibilities, Counsel? His eyes just went... Well, for example, the man could have had another visitor. Another visitor. It was a very bold assertion, from someone who has nothing to substantiate it. Or the victim could have taken the poison of his own volition. He suggests this may have been suicide, Counsel.
Objection!
Mr. Shamsphere has categorically denied suicide. The idea can and must be discounted.
Objection!
But he could be lying. Is something wrong, Lord Van Zeeks? I was listening to the sound of the carriage pulling up outside the courtroom. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Carriage? What carriage? It would seem the key player in this case has just arrived. The victim. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Who, sir, are you? William Shamsphere, my lord, last was I undone by these bitter events. I am the victim. What's he doing here? The prosecution seeks to hold this gentleman to the stand. With this testimony, my lord finds futile resistance will be crushed. You're calling him as a witness. Very well, counsel. I grant your request with interest. I'm curious to discover what the court shall hear from the victim himself. Happy am I, Shamsphere, to regale thee with my tale of woe. But I still have my own tale to tell. My own tale of worse woe. I can regale this court with a tale of my perfect innocence and perfect English. That will do, Mr. Natsume. The court now hear from the victim. This is not good. Oh. Welcome back. Alright, so that's Mr. Shamsphere. But who's that other man beside him? Yes, I feel sure that we've caught a glimpse of that man before. Several times at this point. State your names and occupations for the court, please, witnesses. A writer of words so sweet they do scent the breeze, an inventor of ideas so profound they compose the earth. The unrivaled poet, unmatched scribe, William Shakespeare. Were the great bard to be recalled in life anew, lo, what a magnificent man. Good fellows, I am he who ponders such miracle, William Shakespeare. Name's Meterman. Adrian B. Meterman. Adron B. Adron B. Adron B? I got nothing. I work for the Ultimate Gas Company. Ultimate. I said ultimate. Altamont? Gas Company, East End Branch Office. Oh, I remember now. It was yesterday on Briar Road. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's him. Yes, we spotted him outside Mr. Garridib's house that morning. And he's a gas company employee. What does he have to do with this case? So, Mr. William Shamspeare, you are the victim in this miserable affair, correct? Oh, heaven. Do you command me to remember that sweet poison that didst cross me and cross mine innocent lips? Subpoena him for the trial. With this doctor's permission, naturally. Hearing this testimony of the aggrieved will remove any room for doubt from the jurors' minds, I'm sure. Behold, you have only to rearrange the letters of my name to see that me is a seraph, an angel indeed. Thus thus be I of noble mind, sweet nature, and verily honest of heart, as all heavenly angels be. Because there isn't a less contrived meaning in your name. No, not at all. The jurors seem to be very moved by this man, I'm afraid. They're actually taking the seraph anagram idea seriously. Thank you, witnesses, for your illuminating introductions. But, my lord, what's the man next to Mr. Shamspeare doing here? The gas man, I mean. Ah, what, me? Well, now. Allow me to enlighten my young friend. You recall, I presume, your earlier impertinence? When you suggested that the victim had another visitor to his room in the night in question. And moreover, that the victim is a compulsive liar. No, I didn't quite say that. This young Mr. Rose, yes, controverted your wild claims conclusively. Is that not so, Mr. Eden? Hang on, no, I'm just here. I hereby call for your formal testimonies. You will tell the court as lucidly as possible what happened on the night in question. One may smile and be a villain. Okay. Yes, it doth pain me, but let the truth be spoken. The truth of that wintry night of my discontent. The snow lay about. My neighbour did cometh in the evening, bearing a gift of tea. But merry bitter was his drink, and when he left I did fall prostrate on my table. 'Twas the tea alone did pass my lips that late hour, not else. I was outside this bloke's window and freezing cold all night, keeping an eye in this room. No one else visited the room but that short little round-backed Eastern fellow. Why were you keeping an eye on his room? Wait, what did you say? You were keeping an eye on Mr. Shamspeare's room all night? That's right. Of course, the bloke's window is all but blocked up, isn't it? Well, there's a little gap in the bricks where you can see the look into the room. So I spent the night trying to keep my teeth from chattering and peer through that. The question is, sir, why? Ah! Well now, because he's on my list. What a piece of work is a man, wherefore wouldst thou not stare in wonderment? What are you talking about? This buzzing busybody hath not part in this play. I pray thee, pay him no heed. Make no more ado about his tedious words. What'd you say about me? Calm yourself. This court is concerned with what happened on the night in question. Nothing more. Indeed, that is so. And as the testimony we have heard quite clearly reveals, there was no one other than the accused present at the time who could have carried out this crime. Well, I believe this may be the final testimony of the trial. Counsel, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord. I almost forgot that they actually did testify. Oh boy. The wintry night of my discontent. I think it's one of those press everything situations.
Hold it!
To be clear, by neighbor you are referring to defendant Mr. Natsume? Oh, indeed, sire. Perchance wouldst thou call him the man from upstairs? At what time did the mustachioed Natsume visit you in your room? Our meeting was promised for the hour from now, and lo did he come tender gift of fragrant tea. Details which are accordance to the defendant's own testimony, yes. But we were broiled in such literary debate as history hath not seen before. By which I presume he means their discussion about who was the stronger, Romeo and Juliet. I, Shakespeare, did play the part of young Romeo, whilst my neighbour played the fair Juliet. Each of us dressed as we would our characters be, to bring weight upon the merry experiment. I dare not imagine the scene. Frailty, thy name is woman. Canst thou imagine how dismayed I was yet? I had heard of the eastern art of jiu-jitsu, but ne'er did I dream 'twould be a skill practiced by the comely maiden. Juliet beat Romeo up. This is not helping our case. I believe the court has heard enough about your earth-shattering literary debate. Perhaps you could reiterate your statement about the tea that the accused brought you. My liege, I am thy servant. Gladly I would do thy bidding.
Hold it!
Let me stop you there. Mr. Natsume left your room at 11 o'clock, but it wasn't until after 2 that the poison made you collapse. That amounts to more than 3 hours of missing time. What are you doing? What is this dance? I'm just... What? If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're going to have to explain. Gladly, it's an easy task. What? I did drink of the tea, not while my guest is tarry, but after he took leave of me. Faith, 'twas stone cold, but at 1 hour past midnight, verily, were my lips parched.
Objection!
That doesn't sound normal. Nay, it's quite ordinary, sire, after all. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amidst such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again, and who was stronger? Mr. Shakespeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker? But of course, my liege. 'Twas the stooped lover of words did attempt to shuffle me down off this mortal coil. Ugh, we all knew that. We all know what that means.
Hold it!
But you were holding a fork. So you didn't have any kind of evening meal, dinner, or supper. Oh, we have that picture! Okay, maybe the fork will come up into play for this one. Ha! Fie on luxury, fie on gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time. Sorry. I would that my belly were full. No more oft than the sun doth rise. Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say. Night and day do I fill my hours with learned study of the great bard and playwright. Hence it is there that I doth not. Hence it is that there it doth not in my chamber be than the costumes of mine art. Man, this guy. This would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room. Now I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from the room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single play or script anywhere. For I have devoured them all. You've eaten them? Every word to be within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise? Right, that wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Which brings us to the conclusion. The only way that poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea.
Hold it!
But the windows of that house have all been filled in. A historical artifact of the now defunct window tax. Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happens, a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner has been opened up. I was looking in through that gap. Yes, there were a few bricks loose, weren't there? And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside the well as well. I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on a freezing cold night. But them's my orders, so that's what I'll keep doing, as long as there's breath in my body. What's with all the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Newton, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all? No, he never left. He was in that room the whole time, as far as I'm concerned. And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can you be sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. Since we know the victim didn't leave his room and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself. It's clear that this was no attempt at suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle. Ah, yes. Lucidly explained, Counsel, thank you. It really was. You can't argue with the logic.
Hold it!
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure it was the defendant, then?
Objection!
How many of us short, little round-backed Japanese with a mustache do you think there are in London? Well, of course, it's only a narrow gap, and it's quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. But he showed up around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself. And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shamsfair drink tea together? Nah, sorry. I couldn't say. Why not? Because I couldn't see in the room at all that well. I couldn't see into the room all that well. Could I? What I did see is the silhouette of that little round-backed fellow wearing a pretty dress. Then the pair of them started some kind of wrestling match. I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it. I suppose that was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway. Mr. Meacham, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim the night in question? No question. Yasmin's honor. Oh boy. My lord! Goodness me, it's Mr. Foreman. I kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are you all with me? Yes! Are we to understand that you ladies and gentlemen of the jury are in agreement with one another? That you've reached the unanimous decision? Too right we have. Are you all with me? Yes! Wait, no. The defense is in the middle of a cross-examination. To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man. Especially after you identified those few hours that follow was accused leaving the victim's room. Yeah, the 3 missing hours, as you put it. But in the end, what difference do they make? None as far as I can see. And since that's now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer. Like I was saying before, don't take 5 bob home with me tonight. Mrs. will blow her top. What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said. Very well, let the court be appraised of your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty! Guilty!
All of you? Well, the jury is indeed unanimous. Can you imagine if, like, American courts today were set like this with the jury? Like, the jury just says, okay, yeah, I think that they're guilty. And then the defense attorneys can be like, well, let me talk to you about that, actually. And, like, prolong the trial even more, or, like, talk about things that weren't thought of, I guess. I don't know. That'd be an interesting concept and all. Like, just having a discussion about it rather than just a debate back and forth where you can't speak logically. Because that's the thing that he's doing here. He's, like, talking back and forth and saying, like, okay, well, let's look at what you're thinking and let's see if it makes sense. Whereas in a normal court, I would think that it's just like one side, the other side. Decide which one's right. So this time at least, it seems justice will be done. As well as ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. You are forgetting something, Van Zieks. You know that I'm always going to talk to the jury. To the guilty being punished. Are you actually gonna drink it? Ah! Get up, Mr. Naruhodo, please. The trial isn't over yet. What do you mean, Mrs. Sato? What about the information I found in this Encyclopedia of British Law I have? The obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations? Remember? The summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in a British court of law, if we can reverse the decisions of a majority of the jurors, we can force the trial to continue. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes, I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. I'm not surprised, my London Japanese friend's inability to admit defeat. You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. I certainly no other defense counsel in recent times has exercised the right of summation examination. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Twice, dude, twice has it been altered. More than that, because it's been altered and then they go back to being like, oh no, it's guilty. And then it's been altered again, and then they go back to, oh no, it's being guilty. Or was that just the last case? But I have been in 2 cases at this point in the story, in the timeline. I have successfully defended 2 people in the British Court of Law. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with the summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you. You and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman? Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man, straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. Well, I do declare that the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid. Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy. British have mustache. The inspector has a mustache. I don't know why they keep, like, honing in on his mustache. There's no evidence to suggest the gangling actor is a fraudsman, for now at least. I really don't care. I just need this trial in quickly. 3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age. Nothing at all. I knew it. Every single one of them seems completely convinced. It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamsphere is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen. If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsume says appears to have registered at all. Well, here goes. Let's not forget. I pleaded with the jury on Saseki-san's behalf before, and it worked, so you never know. Before we begin, it might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how summation examination works. I'm still very new to British law. That's true, I suppose, and Saseki-san's fate is entirely within my hands now too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten. Perhaps I should let... Should I dive through? No, I don't do that. Thank you for the kind offer, Mr. Zato, but I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary. Of course, I understand, and I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you'd like. I'll be here for you. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory, and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. I didn't hear anything that were contradictory, though. Also, sorry, I just kind of skipped his. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with your summation examination. Yes, my lord. Okay, I didn't hear two that were contradictory. I just heard two that were saying basically the same thing. Like, oh, he's an upstanding citizen. Oh, he's not gonna lie. But I can press still. There's no woman straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man. He has no reason to lie. There's no evidence to suggest that he's lying. And these two are not really helpful.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press everything. Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars? No doubt about it. That shaky client of yours, for example. Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is not a liar. The point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was the Japanese man's tea. When we take the gasman's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer. Oh, well, that's alarmingly logical. But let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman's values. Turns out the old Shakespeare and chum is a rotten liar after all. I'll gladly change my decision about the defendant. I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. It's not hurt. Well, yes, perhaps. But I don't see it happening. What's that elderly gentleman end here, you know? You'll have to speak up. Look, I really don't care about this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over. How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury, then? Alright, sorry I may hold you to that. I forget what you said. he changed his statement, so that's interesting. Are you saying you believe the man to be trustworthy because he's rather splendid? No, that's not what I said. The point is, the man the victim here. What reason would he have to lie? And yes, he is rather splendid. So you say yet again? Meanwhile, the man who stands accused behaves so suspiciously, it's exhausting to look at him. I'm afraid he's not splendid at all. Splendid logic there, madam. Thank you so much.
Hold it!
No, none of those things is a reason to find the man guilty. But he is fishy. There's no point dancing around the fact he's Japanese, he has a mustache, and he stoops. You see, you arrive at the conclusion in just 3 steps. 3 steps, like a waltz, in fact. You know, the more I think about it, the more this trial seems like a dance. You seem to be several steps ahead of yourself, though. And you're on the wrong foot. No, there's nothing but circumstantial evidence here. There's no actual proof of the defendant's guilt. But the victim's version of events is backed up by what the big chin man next to him says, isn't it? 1, he saw the Japanese man there. 2, he saw no one else. And 3, he saw the Japanese man there. Oh. That's another 3 steps. All this really does seem more and more like a waltz, doesn't it? You're right, and the prosecution will waltz its way to victory if I let you speak much more.
Hold it!
A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, man? It really is the most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can be absolutely certain that the customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence, we can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued. I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you? I'm the wife of Augustus Ultimate, owner of the Ultimate Gas Company. Good gracious, Ultimate Gas, you say? Again, there's... the connection. I don't know. Anyway. Gas is the future of energy. I almost said enemy. Gas is the future of energy in this company. Oh my gosh. Gas is the future of energy in this country and around the globe. But proper handling is essential. Cool. I can read. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be in first to agree. Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gotta be used properly. Ultimate Gas is the best in the world, of course. Is this reminding me of the coachman guy in the jury? I think we may have solved the mystery of the bow from earlier, Mr. Naruto. Right, he bowed in deference to his employer's wife, did he? So, would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Meterman was watching what Mr. Shamspear was up to in his room, I'm afraid that there's no end to the length of the population of East End will go in order to steal our gas. So I really have no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible fraudster. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night, we're very thorough in our investigations. So you mean Mr. Shamspear is... I wouldn't come out and say it in public. But you can finish that sentence with a grubby little gas thief. Is she supposed to look like a queen bee? You've noticed at the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith wouldst thou wouldn't be with thy words, were I to let them penetrate the skin. But seraphs hear not insults, only choirs of angels in song. We may not have the evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around you until they find it. Yep, definitely a queen bee. And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to your angelic heights in the ultimate gas explosion. So Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement? My pleasure. Was it the bit about ripping the thief apart you enjoyed? A little before the part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble. Yes, of course. This could be it. This could shift the balance. thief, but it doesn't say anything about a liar.
Hold it!
Let's see if he'll clarify his statement. You keep talking about needing to take home some money. What's that all about, sir? Finish last. That's finish last. That's what it's about. What's that? Talking about the Derby at Hyde Park, aren't I? It was on the Queen's Cup last week, wasn't it? A Derby? It's dead cert. That's the thing. Couldn't lose. So I took my wife's secret savings, but then that hopeless old mare went and did the unthinkable. Oh, that stupid finish last. Oh dear, I think it's clear what happened, isn't it? It's the day the missus uses her savings for a trip down the pub. So come on, let the business lie now. Just give it up. No, that's not going to happen. You shouldn't bet on a horse that's named Finish Last. It's just asking for trouble.
Hold it!
What do you really mean by that, sir? Well, I'm not one to boast, but I get up at 5 every morning, I do. At 5? You're a really early riser then, aren't you? What's that now? I said you're an early riser. Oh, well, I didn't say that. I mean, I like to while away the hours in the evening reading books as well. But by about 2 in the morning, I'm usually too tired to go on. He sleeps at 2 in the morning and gets up at 5. Oh my, that means he only has 3 hours of sleep each night. What's that, dear? That can't be healthy. Only 3 hours of sleep each night? That's right, you see. 3 hours of missing time. Like I said, it's not much, is it? This really isn't. The key to summation examinations is identifying contradictions between jurors' statements, Mr. Naruto. Right, and once I found 2 jurors whose statements can't coexist, I need to pit those jurors against each other. Then hopefully when they see that they're saying doesn't make sense, they'll change their opinion. Yes, and if you're able to change the minds of the majority of the jurors, the trial will continue. But conversely, if you're unable to do that, the judge will declare the trial over and move to adjudication. And I can't let that happen. Somehow or other, I have to turn this trial around. Turnabout. Okay. No reason to lie. He's rather splendid. But he's a common thief. I want to pit her against her. And then I'll put her against him. But I think she's the one right now.
Objection!
Nope. Fundamentally at odds with one another. I mean, they are. What is that word? Inconsistencies. Alright, then I'll go against him.
Objection!
A liar and a thief, apparently. Those two, I thought there was going to be like a step-by-step. Like, I pit her against the woman, and then something is talked about how he's also a liar or something, I don't know. Two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious. To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1. What are you yelling about, lad? I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Ultimate Gas? Well, yes. The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact turns out to be a common thief. So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much? It's true, we don't have evidence as such, just yet. Both the claims aren't baseless, you know. What? You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised. I would suggest the court hears testimony from our East End branch office employee over there. Do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman's honor. Oh, and he's all yellow and brown, too, because he's the little worker bee. Wait, what was his full name? Is it like worker bee? Does it sound like worker bee? Now I'm curious. Sorry. A drone bee. He's a drone bee. A drone bee meterman. Oh wait, did it have her name? And Queen Bee Ultimate. Juror number 1, are you a man of your word? If I could show that Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt. Yes, I did say that. And as a man of honor, I will hold to it. As I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will. Me? Oh, well, yes. And now that we've found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further. Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So, if this means you'll recap a few points, it would soon be down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with. In that case, I shall change my leaning. So, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are. That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty. That was fast. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Victory! Order! Arr. Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the defense's summation examination, the jury's leading has changed. Now, only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. Therefore, declare this court to be in the state of discord. I think I change his voice every time that I read him. I'm so sorry, guys. And order the trial to continue. You gonna throw? Yep, there it is. I was like, throw or crush? You've spoiled the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim. Hear no evil, see no evil. But your gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most, not but gas, not but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and doth reek foul. Aye, what'd you say? Oh, now he looks like a bee. With his bag. Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery? Most heartily, my lord, hast thou forgot? I am a seraph, an angel. Noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily honest of heart. Ah, you flowery-mouthed pompous beanpole. Just because I haven't got the evidence yet. Mr. Shamspear, if in fact you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considerate opinion that at the present time no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. And all testimony heard by this court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case. Oh no. However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated. Juror number 4. Yes? Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man had been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him? That's right, we do. Don't we, Marker? Absolutely, Lady Quinby. Yes, man's honor. Very well then, we will hear your testimony now. Tell the court precisely why he believed the victim, Mr. William Shamspeare, has been stealing gas. Yes, my lord, it will be my pleasure. On the ultimate gas name, I swear, if I may, my lord. You go ahead, madam. This worker's testimony may have significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should like to take the stand alongside him, in a supervisory role, if you wouldn't mind. Oh yeah, sweet as honey. Yeah. Very well, as an exception, I shall honor your request. Thank you, my lord. You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting, you mark my words. So, you testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Ultimate Gas Company's fuel. Yes. Is that clear, my good man? Clear as ultimate gas, my lady. Which is the clearest in the world. Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Mr. Zato? I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruto. I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Ultimate gas meters accept thruppeny bits. Each coin given customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas. And yet the meter in Mr. Samsier's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though, and the collection agent is the only key. Somehow he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. That's not thieving, what is? Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hallowed chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Menzies? Did the mustached Nipponese poison the gangling excuse of an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court. And yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. Clearly what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance. But this could turn out to be a crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead. Do what you will. Lord Van Zeeks appears to be in a violent mood. Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning, and an incident of gas theft with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance. But I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places. And the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. Press everything, so I'm not really, like, contradicting anything right now.
Hold it!
I'm just gathering information, so press everything. So does that mean you enter people's houses in order to empty their gas meters? And I do. I try to catch people when they're in. Then I ask permission to come inside and do my business. Does that mean you've been into Mr. Natsume's room before, as well as that of Mr. Shamspeare? Well, now, interesting you should bring that up, because I couldn't believe how little money was in his meter. I mean, how the pair of them survive in the winter is beyond me, it really is. Knowing Mr. Natsume, he probably spends all his gas money on books. And then when he's finished reading them, he probably burns them for warmth. We've seen his place. It's stacked full of books. Kindly reiterate your statement about the gas meters themselves, Mr. Meterman. Not much to say, really, but as you wish.
Hold it!
So all London houses that have gas supply are fitted with these gas meters, are they? They're the latest model, the height of technology, developed by our company Ultimate Gas. And anyone who uses our gas will have one of those meters in their property, yes. So if a 3-pence coin gives 2 hours of gas, most people would use about 3 coins in a night. Oh, a bit more than that, usually, if they have both gas lights and a gas stove, that is. Thinking about it, Seki-san doesn't have a fireplace in the room, because does he? Some people still choose to use candles, of course, and only have gas for heating. And yes, I do remember seeing candles in Mr. Natsume's room, actually. And how does the money in the meter get back to you at the gas company? For 3 days, gasmen like me visit properties and gas supply and empty the meters of coins. I must say, the design and manufacture of the new meter cost the company an awful lot of money. But happily, it did put a stop to people not paying their dues, for the most part. Because they have to pay in advance, you mean? Yes, exactly right.
Hold it!
Out of interest, how long has this been going on? Weeks and weeks. He's been pinching gas off us for ages. And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room, I take it? Naturally. We took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb. And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume. No, I'm afraid we didn't. Which is exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. A Shamspeare special. It sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces. But even after all that, the rascal's meter was still empty. Never forget the humiliation. When I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said. You what? And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his. Pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. But you know what? Nothing. Not a trace of it being jammed open anywhere. Not a single sign. What's happening to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day, that's what. A life-threatening situation, in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter? Nothing became of it. I still got it. Oh. Right here. And what do they call you, meterman? I think that would be prudent for the course to sequester the site while trial is ongoing. Definitely. Oh, what's... Have you spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo? Just here, there's a little hole. You see? Goodness, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed. Not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say. So you think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamspeare? Possibly. Seems the people in Ultimate Gas must have missed it. Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through the inside. Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there. That's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious. That's definitely how he's stealing the gas. It's a very sturdy-looking padlock, isn't it? And the money box is sealed with beeswax, too. So if Mr. Sholmes were to get up to any mischief, he'd be found out immediately. Mr. Naruhodo, mischief of that kind is not the sort of thing that Mr. Sholmes would... You know you didn't finish that sentence, don't you? Well, anyway, it's understandable the gas company would want to safeguard money that's rightfully theirs. But it does feel a little over the top, perhaps, doesn't it? Alright, that's enough of that. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say that as much value as the contents of that meter. Oof. Yes it does.
Objection!
Lady Ultimate, I am afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with. What? Get away! I've been over and over that thing! Wow, you're really not a good investigator then. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. In that case, what do you have to say about this small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box? Hole? What? You're right. You're quite right. There's a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do. In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamster secretly opened up this hole himself. Yes, I wouldn't be at all surprised. But why? Yeah, why? I mean, it's tiny. You can't get a farthing through that. Lady Ultimate, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design? What sort of details? Oh, what I'd specifically like to know is... I think it's the coins, because this is the money box where the hole is. So I'm thinking that, like, maybe he sticks something up through the hole to make the meter think that it took in a coin when it didn't. How does the meter tell the difference between different coins? What do you mean? Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1-penny coin, that wouldn't work, presumably, would it? No, of course not. So, well, how does the meter know that the coin's been fed is threepenny bit? Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells the coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A threepenny bit is about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Other coins just won't fit. I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. Witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it's pertinent. Maybe I'll just press it then. As you wish, my lord. Every coin is the exact diameter and thickness of the threepenny bit, and anything else will fit. Oh, wait a second. Oh. Oh, I have thoughts. I think I know what's going on.
Hold it!
But conversely, then, it would seem that anything matching a 3-pence coin exactly in terms of diameter and thickness could equally well be used. Would that be true? Well, yes, in a way. The weight comes into it to a certain extent as well. We thought that through anyway. Find any fake coins inside the coin box when I empty the meter. The contract says the customer has to pay 100 times the amount they diddles as a fine. We live for moments like that, the gas men do. Live for them. It would seem the gas company has thought of everything. Woohoo! Hooray for gas! Hooray for cash! Ultimas all the way. That's quite enough of that. Remind me, how big are threepenny bits? About 3/4 of an inch across. What do you think, Mr. Naruto? 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 Naruhodo? Is the 2 centimeters measurement significant? Well, perhaps there's some other aspect of the meter's construction that we should be focusing on. Yeah, you may be right. Perhaps I should try a different tack here. Like asking whether the meter can be dismantled. No, I think I'm gonna leave it. Because I think I know what this is. It's a gentle testimony. Of course, my lord, as I was saying, ultimate leaders are unsurpassed, so can't be manipulated. I think I know something else that'll fit. I might be ahead of the game, though. The bar of soap has this weird dot in it, circular depression on the side. 2 centimeters across, or 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think? We did find this over the scene. Yes, there were 2 bars on the ledge just outside the window, so we took this one. But I'm sure that when we first found it, there was some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember clearly. Oh, yeah! Okay, I thought there was. I was like, wait, did I just not look at this properly last time? Or I looked at a different one? But there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? It melted. I think... Was it the tea? I think it, like, froze. So he put it out on the soap, froze it, and then... But now, since we've been carrying it around, it melted.
Objection!
Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a threepenny bit. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Oh, well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspeare's room, and that explains the stain underneath. It's underneath the meter. So it was the tea. It dripped out underneath the meter. And since it's tea, maybe we can get a drop from it and show that it wasn't poisoned. Well, by something of a coincidence, we were investigating Mr. Shamspeare's room. We found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly. Something the same size as the threepenny bit. What was it? The item in question is this. What, have you been inhaling gas? That's a bar of soap. It certainly looks nothing like a threepenny bit, I must say. Yes, I'm going to have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here.
Got it!
You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean. Oh! Are you referring to that round depression in the middle of the soap there? So here's what I don't understand. I don't think if I had presented the bar of soap before I looked at it, it probably wouldn't have let me present it. It would have been like, "Oh, you're being stupid. What are you talking about?" Because it didn't have the 3/4 inch diameter mentioned yet in the evidence. So to see that, I would have had to turn it around and see this 3/4 inch. Like, I know what I'm talking about. So why would it make me look for it again for them? Like, yes, this is what I'm talking about because I just observed it. Because it's in the description of the evidence. Are you referring to the round depression in the middle of the soap there? That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or, in other words, almost exactly the same size as the threepenny bit. Get away! Does anyone here present have in their possession a threepenny bit? Quickly now, hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it? Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a threepenny bit. Now, to see if it fits. Oh, my word, it couldn't be more snug. Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the ultimate gas company is being defrauded. Oh, I don't believe it! So, possession amounts to what? But some inferior bowl of soup has a tentative connection to the theft of gas. Yes! The depression in the soap was clearly made by a threepenny bit. This concurred, at least, that pushing of a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replacing the coin's shape. Of replicating the coin's shape, excuse me. And then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. You could make fake coins in no time. This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shamsphere has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now if we follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet. But this is all nonsense! If the man had been making fake coins, my worker here would have found them when he emptied the meter. Quite true, Lady Ultimate. In the absence of some black magic that could somehow make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There's one form of black magic that could cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly. And the meter here gives it away. What on earth? There are remnants of the magical method used visible in the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that's your assertion, Counsel, the defense will identify the remnants to the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen? It's the hole at the bottom.
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime, just outside the victim's window. Outside? Yes, outside. Where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found the soap. I get it. That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shamsphere has been leaving soaps like this outside of his window each evening, filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. He takes his fake coins out of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth and spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice thaw inside the meter's coin box melts, turning back into water, and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made from the underside of the meter. And that is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing the ultimate gas. Just like that. So simply. Is he trying to make us look like idiots? He's been fooling us all with some bars of soap and some water. That's right, madam. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have the audacity to suggest that a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless? I'm fairly sure I didn't design it. Evidence! Sorry. I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof. She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she? Very well, Lady Ultimate. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it. What? Mr. Naruto, are you saying... Did you actually have evidence to support this theory? I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. The piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shamsphere has been stealing gas is this.
Take that!
Because that's what the stain. This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson. And it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamsphere. What remnants? Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamsphere's room. Now look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter. What is that? Some kind of grubby stain. Almost certainly it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter. Ah! If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating this room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor. This is awful. And there's further evidence, too. Mr. Shamsphere is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half. You were right. It would appear to me then, counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but certainly not. He didn't beat around the bush there, did he? In truth, Mr. Shamsphere was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap sounded increasingly... You mean to say he was using that fork to... I don't know, let's see what he's saying. Increasingly likely, Lord Vinzies. Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap. Oh. But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well. Good gracious. Pray forgive the discourtesy? Lord Van Zeeks. I was throwing my hand up in despair. It happened to catch my hallowed bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, counsel? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent course examination? Well... that Mr. William Shamsphere is a liar and a thief. In other words, that his testimony is unreliable. That's it. That's exactly it. Very well. Let us assume the man is a liar. Now, allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make? Well... we know that suicide can be discounted. The Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. Young Gassman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shamsphere is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication. You... What? Order! Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond? Mr. Naruto. What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying? No, we got the tea. We have the tea. No, this isn't over. We can look and see if the tea has poison in it. The defense will not rest. But counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shamsphere to consume gas. What more is there to discuss? Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all. What are you trying to say, my boy's friend? At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to a lack of evidence. situation has changed now following the cross-examination of the latest witness to take the stand. What is this nonsense? Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider. Namely, was there poison in the tea? We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspear was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume. But that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim had testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There's no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea at the scene, it couldn't be tested for traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene. And a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
Lawyers claim Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime can tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? Is it the picture again? It might be the picture again. Can you tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea? It seems bad. I think it's the picture.
Take that!
Okay, maybe it's the meter. Alright, sorry, let's try this again.
Take that!
I'm sorry, what? Is it the soap?
Take that!
There we go, okay. Good gracious. The soap again. Same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice. Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday. I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas leaf's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, maybe. Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red. No. You mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea. What? I would remind the court of the statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. Ah, yes, I believe there had been snowfall that day. It was perfectly cold. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shamspeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word! There were 2 bars of soap in the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene. That's right, and we only borrowed one of them. Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime. Frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Oh, of course. Because they can't use the drops from the ground. And it is a water stain, it is not a tea stain. Because they hadn't frozen completely yet by that point. So they were stuck in the bars. Okay, I see you. I see you. I see you, game. I acknowledge. Extraordinary. Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even 1 drop of tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has until now been mere conjecture. By finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually contains strychnine at all. You smug niggas. My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. That is his smug face, though, whenever he, leans on the sword. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once. And the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff! Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once. Yes, my lord. Understood. So we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks. No, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume the same afternoon. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord. This is the first time that a trial has gone on for more than 1 day in this game. Everything else has just been the same day, long day trials. Even the last case of the last game, I mean, the big complicated one. Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow. Ooh, boy. So we shall continue the trial tomorrow, and in the meantime, that means that we get a nice investigation time again. It has not been since the good old days of the Phoenix Wright games and Low Apollo Justice and such that we had investigations in between trials. So we'll have to see what we can manage to discover and what is happening in this case. I completely forgot about him stealing gas. That's crazy. Anyway, it's been a long one, so I'm not gonna tarry, as they say, anymore. Dilly-dally. I will talk to you guys next time.